This is Jeremy with Mayhem Rockstar Magazine. I'm here with Christopher Dean of the band Dean, and also he's on tour. How's it going today?
Going pretty good, man. Yeah, I'm on tour playing bass for Nita Strauss, and every day is amazing. I think this is our 6th show, maybe our 5th. I don't know. 6th, I don't know. Every day gets better and better, though. We started off, it was a little rough getting the chemistry together just because, this tour, there was a lot of fresh faces. So we all came together, and for the greater majority, our first band practice was our sound check at the first show. And then our first...
Wow.
Yeah, and then our first run-through of the songs from beginning to end was the first show. So, and then, we worked a little bit at the next sound check, and then that's it, and over the, basically the first week, we've really gotten a really good system together. And it's great. Nita plays with Alice, and my mom is a huge Alice fan, so it's a huge honor for me. I've been paying attention to Nita for a while, and it's really nice to meet them. Her and Josh have opened up themselves with open arms to me and Jay, and it's been a great experience. It really has.
That's awesome. You guys had a killer, amazing show. The chemistry seemed amazing out there. You can't tell that you just got it together.
Yeah, I was actually really happy. I was talking with my wife about it, where it's good because I've always been a very active and animated person on stage, and there's really good communication as far as moving around. Tonight was a little bit of a smaller stage, so usually we go back and forth a little bit. Nita moves around a lot, and I told her, I was like, I'll equal out the stage. She comes over by me, I'll go over there. We jam out. Tonight I tried to move, and I was just tripping over light fixtures. We have
it was tight in there. The fans were, I seen them snatching the pics right off the mic stand.
Yeah, we, yeah, right, yeah. I had to call the guy over to get Nita more pics. But yeah, we even left some of the lights in the trailer. Like, it's a pretty big production for this show, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. This was like a great venue. It was a tiny little venue to see such a quote-unquote big band. But, you guys brought pretty much an arena show to a little tiny stage, which is pretty amazing for us Detroit fans.
I love the more intimate shows, man. I haven't played as many arenas or anything like Nita, but I've played festivals and stuff, and I've played in front of a lot of people, and it's great and all. But when you could put your foot on the monitor and get right in the fan's face,
right,
and sing along and headbang, and when they get covered with your sweat or your water when you're headbanging and going crazy, like, that's part of the show, and I really love that. But either way, a show's a show. For me, it doesn't matter. I come from the punk rock world, and I'll rock out just as hard for one person sitting at the bar as I will for that whole place packed out. I can't help it. I don't plan it out. I go nuts. I feel the music, and that's it. So
you could tell there was a lot of passion. So you're playing bass with Nita Strauss. Like, what led to this? How did you get to this stage?
I've been friends with Angel for 15 years. Him and I totally grew up in the same metal scene. He played guitar for one of my friends' bands, and and same thing with Jay Tarantino. His old band played a lot of shows with my band. I have a metal band where I play seven-string guitar. Called Darkness Descends, and Jay's old band used to play with that, and used to play with them, and it was a big community. And then trying to start my music school up last year, Rockstar Now, I got pulled onto this gig doing a music video for Angel, and just being a grip, just being a key grip, and we had known each other for so long, but I have a really good work ethic. If there's one word or one, hyphenated word that I could give about myself, it's that I'm a hard worker. I always tell people I don't have a lot of talent. I just work really hard. I remember being 13 years old, getting my first guitar, and just working really hard. I didn't have lessons. I just learned what a power chord was, and I listened to my local rock station, and I taught myself how to play every song that I liked. And if I didn't if I didn't get that sound with that power chord, back then I was just two-fingering it. But if I didn't get that sound with that power chord, then I just moved my other fingers around, and try to get that
Find it.
and find it, you know. And I've always believed that, you know, these guys, they're shredders. And it's a lot. And my favorite part about being on this tour, real quick to jump on, is just hearing the guitar shredding gods, you know, talk about their techniques and their approach to the guitar. That's what I'm most excited about for this tour, is just how much I'm going to learn. You know?
Yeah, I bet. That's how to do it.
Yeah, so basically, I got pulled onto this music video, and I impressed Angel a lot. And then, you know, on this tour, I was supposed to be playing bass for him, but for logistical reasons, I'm only playing for Nita. And, you know, he got me the gig. He asked me if I wanted to do this, and I was like, hell yeah. I sent him a video of me playing, and, you know, I had the right gear, I guess. I have the right attitude. I don't just play bass. You know, no one just does anything.
Right, you got to be versatile out there these days, and you got to have, you know, a good attitude. The attitude, I think, is first and foremost, because everybody plays these days.
Yeah, and we do have a killer tech that we just got the other day. His name's Drew, and he is running the show, and it's really great. And like, between him and you know, our whole team of people, including, you know, Angel, Nita, and Josh, we all just work really hard together, and we get the job done. Everyone does what they're supposed to do. And it's a really big production this time around, you know. So, you know, everyone all does their stuff. It's great, but yeah. And so I got that just through hard work. You know, that's literally why I'm here, and I get to.
That's really awesome. That you know, I was going to ask you, like, you know, what your tips are for, you know, up and coming musicians, and it sounds like, you know, just stick with it, be versatile at what you do, and be ready for, you know, anything, you know, right place, right time, but you got to prepare to be for that right place, right time.
Right place, right time, and it's who you know. And a lot of who you know comes down to where you want to put yourself. I wanted to be doing this when I was 13 years old. Sorry. It's all good. You can go through.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. Yeah, when I was 13 years old, I just, you know, figured out what was going to happen with my life. I put myself in the position that this is what I wanted to do. This is where I wanted to be. And I kept going to local shows. And Steve Zing from Danzig, he gave me some great advice. You know, I'm a New Jersey boy, so of course all the Misfits crew are all around. And that's what led to me playing for Graves. But I wanted to be there. So I went, as Steve Zing told me, he's like, when you see a drummer you like, go out to shows. When you see a drummer you like, steal that drummer. That's it. You see a guitar player you like,
great advice.
Steal that guitar player. My one drummer and I, we're both in like 6 or 7 bands. You know, you can do it. It's hard. I've always had a million bands. You know, never
Right.
put all your eggs in one basket, for sure. And just always keep going. And then you just push yourself harder and harder and harder.
And that makes good sense.
Yeah, and you just put yourself there, you know, and you work hard. That's literally all it takes.
That's amazing. So your solo album came out in 2017. How's that been received?
It was all right. It's all self-released. You know, I recorded it at Redshift Recording Studios in New Jersey with my buddy Zach, who's also my drummer. That guy, Zaki Ali. Amazing drummer, Zaki Ali NJ on Instagram and everywhere. He's so blistering fast and so good. But yeah, basically, I got this tour where I was gonna. I've done a bunch of U.S. tours at this point, and basically the only way to do it to make any money is to try and like come up with merch and a brand and stuff like that. And along the way, I wrote a bunch of songs. I always bring my acoustic around, and I got some stuff together, I recorded it, and since I was going to go on another tour, I was like, let me just put it together. I went into the studio, I recorded it, and it's awesome. It's called Life Lessons, and I do a lot of work in the horror punk scene, and since all these dudes, they all write their albums about vampires and werewolves and all this stuff that doesn't exist, which is great. I love all that stuff, but it doesn't exist. So you know, they call it the scary stuff. Right. I went through a separation. My dad died. Close family members died. I lost I lost a lot of things. I went into a dark place, and I figured, what's the best thing and what's the scariest thing out there is real life, and and the lessons you learn along the way. And so that's what I tried to teach people. I tried to show and just speak about my experiences. I always tell all my students the best part about playing guitar is that you can, like writing in a journal, you can get your feelings out and you can get your thoughts down, and you don't ever have to explain yourself to anyone. And sometimes people really find solace in that. I loved playing songs that I wrote about my mom giving me a hard time, right to my mom, and she never knew, But
Right,
for me,
exactly.
But for me, it was great, like
It's a
those
great
troubles.
release.
Yeah, it was that release. I've been through therapy and stuff my whole life growing up, and it's just, yeah, that's how I did it. So it's called Life Lessons. It's near and dear to me. I printed 1,000 copies myself. And it's out digital everywhere. Spotify. I have my own Spotify, but I go by Dean, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's a K-pop star called Dean. So for whatever reason,
Oh, so that makes it
Spotify.
tough.
Well, Spotify just put me as Dean ! I don't know.
Oh,
But everywhere
okay.
else it's just Dean. But it's it's hard because I'm trying to beat that Korean dude for my name, my
Oh,
own
yeah,
own
that's-
name.
Yup. Yeah, that's always tough.
But yeah, so like I said, I grew up in the horror punk scene, did a lot of work there. I played with Darrow Chemical Company. They were my first band where I was on tour with them. I went on tour as a tech. And on that first tour, my father died right when I got to California, and I'd never been there before.
Oh, my.
And he had cancer, and I knew he was going to die, and it was a very sad time. And for a bunch of reasons, I stayed on the tour. And my dad got me my first guitar for my 13th birthday. And it was near and dear to me, so I was going on my first U.S. tour, and I really, I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him giving me, that ammunition. And so I stayed on the tour, and then 2 days later, one of the guitar players, his brother had like a really bad car accident, and he had to fly home. And it's they were both near and dear to me. Those two dudes are like family, and so Loki had to go. So he sat down with me, and I learned 12 songs in 24 hours.
Wow.
And I played the last 13 shows of the U.S. tour on lead guitar, playing all Loki stuff.
Wow.
And came home, and then for the next U.S. tour, I was playing rhythm guitar for the band because there were other guitar player left. And so Darrow Chemical Company, a bunch of those dudes have been playing with Michael Graves for years, and that's through a number of different other bands that led to me playing bass for Michael all last year on the Beginning of the End tour.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it was great because I had seen the Misfits when I was a kid growing up in Jersey. And I just recently saw him with Glenn Danzig, which was like childhood dream. I never thought that would happen at the Prudential Center. I got pushed in the crowd by 40,000 people, and I was 3 people away from the front and center of the stage. I was so happy. I had the same hat. I had to buy another one because it got trampled. It smelled like urine and sweat, and it
Like, no,
never.
let's get a new one.
Yeah. I told my wife, I was like, I gotta order a new one right away.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it's been a trip though, and I'm so happy and thrilled to be here and to be a member of this team. So this tour is the Guitar Collective, and Angel, Jackie, and Nita are killing it too, man. Like I really want to express that about everything. Like they have worked so hard in their careers to bring a lot of this stuff together. Angel's songs are crazy hard. Jackie is one of the most talented guitar players I've ever seen, and Nita is such a showstopper, and she shreds, dude. So for me, it's just a privilege to be here. I really feel so honored and privileged to be here, and Josh is such a powerhouse behind the drums.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, he's such a
back there
powerhouse.
pummeling that.
Yeah, I love that too, man, because we get some moments. Tonight was a little hard, but we get some moments where we really jam out, and I just love it, dude. I just love it.
That's awesome.
I need to get some water.
No problem. So you guys have been on this tour for a few days. You got a little while left, I think like mid-December, something like that. What do you got going after the tour?
On December 21st, we play Asbury Park. It's the last day of the tour.
Nice.
And, we started in Massachusetts, played a Jersey show, and then took off. Had Thanksgiving at Angel's house. And then I went home with my family since I live in Jersey. But yeah, so then on December 22nd, I have a doubleheader where Jay Tarantino, who plays with Angel and Nita, also has a band called Ethereus. And his band is playing a show with my band, Darkness Descends. And we're going to do a doubleheader with our drummer where, Jay's going to play with him and I'm going to play with him. And then we have to break down and leave Newark and head to Queens and do another show. And then after that, then we get to rest for Christmas, hopefully, packing a doubleheader show, with an hour and a half travel in between.
Yeah, you guys are doing it up right at the last second there.
Yeah. And and we're going to be traveling where we're going to be working really hard. And it's all for the love, so it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. It's been a great pleasure doing this interview.
Thank you so very much, man. I really appreciate it.
The show was amazing.
Thank you.
You guys killed it out there.
And remember, check out Nita Strauss, Tiger, and everything if you're at the show. And Beverly Kills. And I really love the whole message behind everything that they have. The whole Nita Strauss brand and the whole Beverly Kills brand. I really love it, and I want everyone to go check it out for sure. So
yeah, awesome. This has been Jeremy with Mayhem Rockstar Magazine.
And this is Dean.
It's been a pleasure. You guys rock on.
Thank you.